Spicy digital, baby. Digital deceiver shadows live in the mix. White socks. We don't chase clout, we chase truth. Now let's go. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How is everybody on this Wednesday morning? I apologize for being a little late. I was up pretty late getting ready for this morning because things are constantly in motion. When I think I'm done, I'm never done. Good morning. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. You guys know what I'm going to say. If you are a member of the team, hit the daily heart me. If not, stick around. If you like what you see, join the team. Gifts are appreciated but not required. We're going to do this regardless. And the one thing that I ask is that you tap the screen every time I change a photo until you feel the heart's tale, and then take a break. When I started getting ready for today, I thought I might get in and out in 2 hours. I don't know if I'm going to get in and out in 3. Because there's so much I want to talk about. And certain people's moment is going to be longer than others. So some will go very quickly, and others we have a lot. Thank you very much. Let me start with that. Where is it? Somebody has created an account calling themselves Digital Deceiver Shadow and X for expose. And at the time I saw that they had 30 followers. I know that number has gone down now. Please report the account and then block it. I don't know what. Yes, you did. I don't know what they thought they were going to do, but this is probably going to start happening over and over and over again. I don't know if the intent was to try to create an account so that they can go do bad behavior and then I'm stuck answering a million questions. Let me tell y'all something. If somebody says something and it doesn't sound like something I would do, don't believe it. Everybody knows what I post on my page and what I repost. And so if someone comes out and starts making a bunch of videos, starts being rude and nasty, starts, body shaming people, doxing people, y'all know that's not me. So don't let anybody convince you that I'm suddenly going to start bad behavior, because I'm not. And I don't know if this person just wanted to amass followers. Like, I don't even understand. They haven't posted a single thing, but they knew they'd get followers immediately by using the logo and the name. I have 3 digital accounts. There's this one, there's Digital Deceivers Expose, and then there's Princess DDS. That's it. I'm not creating any more digital accounts. 3 is enough. I have plenty of burners, but I'm not going to create another digital account. So if you see one, don't bother to follow. Oh, Jody, I did. What you mean? I haven't gotten to all of them, but I went in and messaged the followers because, of course, they weren't bright enough to have it private. Yeah, Bella, they probably won't. It's down to 20 followers now. Excellent. And I think 3 of them are Emma Lay Red. So hopefully TikTok does its thing and actually deletes the account. But that's why I'm asking you guys to report it, because I've reported it from both of my accounts and it's still there. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you, Princess. Thank you, Skittles. I appreciate it. So that's not me. If you come across anybody who thinks that this is me, please let them know it is not me. And again, let me reiterate, if you start seeing a digital account running around here doing bad behavior, it's not me. Nothing about me has changed. Wow, you found them on 6 of your accounts? Yeah, block them. Because as soon as you see the logo, you're going to assume that it's me. Good morning, good morning. Thank you. And I appreciate everybody who's already done their thing. I really do appreciate it. And I appreciate the people who actually sent it to me and asked if it was me. I'm not creating any more DDS accounts. If I do, I will come here and let y'all know. Y'all won't just see a DDS account pop up. Okay? All right. I'll probably do that again because we're only at about 200 people. And so we will. The name and the number of followers gave it away for you? Yeah. Come on. Like, for what? Okay, let's look at who is on the grid today. By the way, for whatever reason, when I went to upload Monday's live, it took YouTube 24 hours. And what made it worse was that I had done it and it took so long that I actually deleted the first one thinking that it was a glitch in the system. And then when I went to re-upload it, it was 20. At one point, it said 300 hours it would take. So I don't know what's going on with YouTube, but I apologize for the delay in that post. Thank you, Kim B. I appreciate it. So on the grid today is CC, Tim and Angela, Christina Test, Royal, or as everybody knows him, Black Mamba, Aaron, of course, Jordan Paul, who I haven't talked about in a minute, but I want to talk about how I see what's been happening. Zim and Rifa and Unk. And who do I want to start with? I want to get some people out of the way. Let's get Rifa out of the way. So, one of the things that upsets me about Rifa is that she has declared that she's being real because she's being 100% transparent. But transparency has limits. I do not need to know, we do not need to know that she's live in the bed naked. Yo, I didn't make this picture up. This is literally a screenshot from one of her dancing videos. And it is not meant to make fun of her. It's meant to show how silly she sees it until it's time for money. So I don't need to know that you're laying in your bed naked. And it's one thing to say it like when you first go live and there's three people in there, but she said it over and over and over again. That's not being real. That's TMI. That's oversharing. We don't, why does it matter? As long as the covers don't slip, and furthermore, why you didn't just throw a shirt on? If you think that it might be a concern for your audience, put a shirt on. So then she talks about, and I'm just talking about the oversharing, that when she comes in before she gets in her bed, she washes Juicy. Yep, that's the name she's given her hoo-ha. Again, why is that necessary to share with your audience? That's TMI. Nobody asked you about your washing habits. So I haven't watched all her lives, but this is just a brief summary of a live she did after Super Bowl Sunday. She talks about how she went to her brother's house for Super Bowl Sunday, what a great and fantastic time she had. And she kept referring to being in the bed naked because she kept talking about how comfortable she is when she's home. And that she couldn't do it at her brother's house, but now that she's home, she feels safe to do so. Okay. You didn't need to say that 3 or 4 times. She had her plate, her take home plate from it, and it wasn't a plate. It was well, I would call it a Tupperware bowl. She didn't even have a knife, I mean, a fork, a spoon, or a knife. And so she literally sat on live under the covers, reminding us that she was naked and eating with her hands. Now, and the thing is, she tried to say Africans eat with their hands. So what? So what? But okay. The thing that upset me though is that, of course, she starts talking about the love she receives because they don't have love from their family and friends. Wait a minute. Rewind. You don't have love from your family and friends. You don't have support. Weren't you just at your brother's house? Didn't you just say what a wonderful time you had and how he cooked and you made deviled eggs and everything was wonderful and you didn't realize how much you missed it? And then don't you live with your mama? See, that is when I talk about manipulation, that's what I mean. Because the reason why she said that is because they're not taking care of her financially. They're not giving her cash so she can do what she wants with the money. She literally has her people believing that they are her only lifeline. But the truth of the matter is that it's her cash lifeline. The fact that she has people putting money on her man's books is wild. And people are doing it so that she can talk to him as much as she'd like. How is that anybody else's responsibility? And then, of course, because of full transparency, she's live on one phone and talking to him on another. So who's paying the phone bills? Because there are two. Hold on. Because there are two. Hold on. I can't. I can't do messages right now. So she has to talk about how I'm sorry, have no support from family or friends. How is it that people with no financial support, I should say no support, because that's what they say no support. How do two people who have no support from anybody always seem to be able to find each other? And then they love to find their way onto TikTok in particular and ask for money. Now, is every family great? No. Are some families toxic and you need to walk away? Yes. But how do you play in their face by saying we don't have any family support while you live with your mama rent free? I saw that, Granny Annie. I caught it. I just can't go into messages right now in the middle of the live, but I saw it. I wrote down questions. Why doesn't the fact that she's just been with family cause people to pause and ask, why isn't there any family that supports them financially? Could it be that the family knows them more than you do and know that this is what they do? So that's why they're not supporting them financially? But no, you just take their word for it that family doesn't support them. Now, the other thing is that when she's talking about support, she doesn't mean moral support, emotional support. She strictly means financial, but she won't say, thank you for helping us financially. It's support. Again, a word that manipulates the audience. Because if she just said, thanks for the money, people would stop giving. While you enjoy your weekend, while you lay in the bed, some of your followers were either going to work or getting off work. But you can't. You can't do that. And of course, your man can't because he's locked up. And I don't even know for how long. And she literally she literally tries to act like she's integrating them into their relationship. Like she literally had this whole conversation about how she thinks he's upset because she didn't answer the phone during the halftime show. And she's like, so I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, guys. It might be a problem tomorrow because he wasn't happy. Again, oversharing in a way that is unnecessary. Transparency doesn't mean I give you 100% of everything. But when people feel like they know you, in air quotes, mind you, they know you, they feel more comfortable, and then sending you money is a much easier thing to do. But my question is always this to the financial supporters. Thank you. My question is always this: what is she doing today that's going to change this trajectory at some point? Not a damn thing. So be in anticipation of continuing to fund her and her man that's locked up so that they can talk to each other. She literally is like, put money on his book so he can get stuff out of commissary. Why? Why? But you can make dancing videos and have a funky good time and talk to your people, but you can't do anything to earn your own money. Ma'am, it's nobody else's business to make sure you can talk to your man from jail. It's and to call him Unc, right? Y'all, Unc this and Unc that, and Unc loves y'all, and me and Unc love y'all. Really? And then, just like all the other beggars, it's what have you done for me lately? If you don't follow her, she doesn't talk to you in the comments. How do you expect to get new followers if the first thing you do is, I'm not talking to you, I'm not answering your questions unless you're following me? And then once you're following me, if you're not doing the daily heart me, then why are you bothering to be here? And then it's, I have a gift gallery y'all could fill. Y'all could send me gifts. Here's my gift goal. And then more importantly, here are the payment apps. Good morning. Here are the payment apps. By the way, I've started to try to refollow people again. If your account is private and you follow me, when I go in to follow you back, you have to accept me, or else it goes nowhere. So if you have a private account and you followed me like a week ago or so, go in and make sure that you accept me back, or else I'm just going to keep requesting to follow you and nothing's going to happen. And I, again, don't need to know that you sink, wash, juicy. Like, have that conversation with your man. That's not for TikTok consumption. Thank you. I see you, TikTok president. Love you, love you. We're going to get to you in a second. So if you don't have money, anticipate getting blocked. Yep, a hoe bath. Absolutely. And if y'all don't know what a hoe bath is, look it up. So that's that. Oh, hey, Cat Daddy. Let's see who else I want to talk about. By the way, I've spoken about him, I believe, once before. If you guys aren't watching him, he needs to rise in the ranks of exposure. This is Bam. Bam is a grown man whose life is messed up because everybody else did stuff wrong. And even though he was inside, of course, it's not a good situation. So he still needs your money. So if you haven't put him on your list of watching, please do. It's a boring watch. Don't get me wrong. It's a boring watch. Sandy, that's why I brought him to the fore, because other people haven't seen him. But his life is just horrible because everybody else does it wrong. And if people just... Good morning, Daniel. Daniel, what do you want? Let's show everybody Daniel, because I knew he was going to come in this morning. What do you want? Yeah, the crash outs are crazy. What do you want? Daniel, have you not figured out that there isn't a single thing that you can do that's going to get me to stop? Daniel, I don't even talk about you. You haven't been on the grid in weeks. So what do you want? I'm not F? What does that mean? Answer my question. What do you want? Because it's like you want my attention. So what do you want? Why are you here? If I'm such a horrible person, why are you here? Clearly he's a fan. For him to be up from my time 3 to 6 in the morning, my time, and then to wait and stay awake until I go live. Okay, if you're not doing anything, what do you want? I think he wants to be on the grid. I think he enjoyed the attention. Cause you're not... Oh, by the way, let me show y'all the grid, because this is today's grid. Is Daniel on the grid? Daniel, you want me to leave you alone, but you keep coming in my live on days when you aren't even on the grid? The only thing you're doing is encouraging other people in the community to check you. You want me to leave you alone, but you keep coming on. Move on to what? There you go, fuck it. You come in here. I don't come to your lives and say a single word. You're not even on the grid. Then go over there and do you. Why are you here? Of course, puppy power. I know. But I knew he would be here. So I thought I'd show everybody who he is. And the fact that he... Exactly, your cat. Daniel, if you can't write a complete sentence, stop typing. Because you're not even making any sense. Go take yourself over to the other side of the app where people pay you to play games. You're not welcome here. Anyway, let's move on to somebody who's worthy of being on the grid. I saw somebody request Jordan. I gotta do after, because this is gonna be a short one, so don't leave. Now, wait, where's my notes? Okay, here we go. So there's nothing at all new about what she's doing. And I have literally avoided talking about her for that reason. It is the hotel room day after day after day. And I truly believe that when she's asking for the money today, it's to pay 2-3 days from now. Because literally, she needed $80. As far as I could tell, she didn't get it. But at some point, she stopped coming live. And guess what? She's in the hotel room. Daniel, go away. I'm not talking about you, and I'm not bringing you in the box. Go away. Nobody's talking about you. So the thing is that in all the months she's been in this hotel room, not a single thing has changed. Now, when she got there, she claimed, guys, he's just in here to get you to follow him. Just ignore Daniel. Because he can't get numbers like this. So the idea that he will come into a place where he knows that people are going to check his behavior, and then what he's hoping is that you follow him, and then he gains followers by being in here, and then you come, because what he wants to try to do is have you come to his live so he can prove that I was wrong. Believe me, I don't say anything without actually watching them and talking about them. So this is your last warning to go away. Okay, intrigued. Well, there you go, Daniel. Somebody who knows you knows that you're drinking again. And that's why you're here. Her car was never in the shop. Her car was repossessed. Some beggar be going. Right. It got repoed. It's not in the shop. So, again, I'm going to ask the question. How has any of the money that she's gotten from the time she got in the hotel till now has changed at all? In fact, she doesn't even say anything about working anymore. Notice? And TikTok president pointed out a good point as well. She's not mentioning school either. And we know she's down to one dog. She would literally have to prove to me that she has two at this point, which is probably a good thing. I don't know if there's somebody else living there. But every time they give her money, what does she do? Does she say, guys, remember the whole my paycheck is coming? But then when she would get the check, something would happen. If I could see if she was using her check to pay her car note, her the insurance, um food, herself, all of that stuff. Her cell phone bill could be on her daddy's account. I don't know. And then she tried to do the whole gaming thing. But when you're just trying to be a gamer, you're not then saying, oh, by the way, keep me in the hotel as well. As long as people continue to give her money, she's not going to do anything different. And we all know Jordan needs to have a stalker. She spends more time on her live tracking who's coming in than asking for the money. And at one point, a while ago, I saw somebody ask if it was a recording because she literally says the same thing over and over and over again. Now, what she's figured out that a lot of them haven't is that there's somebody new coming in her live all the time who didn't hear what she said 3 minutes ago. So she's hoping to catch the one person who's going to hear this story for the first time and send her the money because they're going to feel sorry for her and her dogs. And when she's not getting a lot of conversation and movement, and let's be clear, not enough people and accounts that she's blocked, she goes to the other account and does the exact same thing. And just so you guys are aware, the Z and the S are the only changes. Oh, Marlena, I'm so happy. Because it's not fair. She's not doing anything to get herself out of the situation. But the reason why I brought her up here is because I have been extremely hesitant to say this. But based on her need for money, and based on the fact that she's been sick for months, a part of me is starting to question whether or not she has a habit. And I have stayed far away from that. But I remember weeks ago, she came to the app and said that she had strep throat. And I think she needed money for the antibiotics or something. And I remember we all saying, you can't be diagnosed with strep throat from a virtual visit. Now, they may say they suspect it's strep throat, but they can't diagnose you with it. And I thought then that it's very interesting that she wanted a virtual visit as sick as she claimed that she was. And I said then, there's a reason she wanted it to be a virtual visit. And she has literally been sick since then. It's been a toothache, an earache, her throat, her nose, her sinuses, her head, anything. And when I watched her the other day very closely, I said, yes, something's not right. This isn't about needing hotel money. Correct, Ashley. Correct. She literally was like, I have an hour left. And she needed the entire $80. And while I watched, she didn't get it. Even when she went to the other account, nobody had sent her a dime. And then at a certain time during the day, she just left the app. I've heard that, Tina. And I think the dad probably, and maybe even the mom, funds part of her life. The grandma may also. She has a third account. Sunflower, do tell. Her dad is not paying for her room. I believe that the dad is paying for something. J Paul 2369. Thank you. Boy, if you didn't know, the hills have eyes, and so does TikTok. Oh, it's JAY, Paul? 2369. Yeah, he's helping with something. And I find it interesting that she keeps saying she can't go live there, and she's always blamed it on the fact that she has the dogs. But if you're going to literally be on the street, is it you and the dog on the street, or is it the dog gets rehomed and you can live with your dad? So, okay, Kelly Givens, thank you. And that's just to try to hide from us, but I'm going to say it again. The hills have eyes, and so does TikTok. So if you think you're going to be able to do something and we're not going to find you. Oh, and I haven't verified this for myself, but apparently Tim Nash has been going live on YouTube. So be on the lookout for that. Really, Mrs. Evans? Well, we'll see. Exactly, Siren. That's what I've heard. I haven't been able to verify it, but that's what I heard. So I'll be looking. And since you guys are better lookers than me, I wanted to put it out there. I know that sometimes we kind of move on from people who have been oldies and goodies and leave them to their devices. But for those of you who message people, please keep doing it on her, because she's not going to unalive because somebody bullied her or that somebody brought attention to her. It's going to be with something that got laced. Oh, absolutely politely. You calling people stupid or dumb or even teasing Jordan. I told y'all, if I find out that that's what you're doing, you won't be here. Okay, he hasn't been live for 2 months. Okay. Well, it says Tim Nash hasn't been live on YouTube in 2 months, so I didn't hear anybody say that he was in jail either. Somebody gonna have to find me the proof. Guys, I need 1 second. I'll be right back. TikTok president. We're gonna do your girl in a minute. As soon as I come back. I have to warm up my coffee. I'm sorry. I forgot about it and now it's ice cold. And what is the point to ice cold coffee? Unless that's what you want. Okay, I'm sorry. I apologize. Give me 1 second. Thank you for sticking with me. I appreciate it. Let's go over to our girl. So we know that yesterday morning she got up early because her plan was to go donate plasma and then go to court. Now, she kept saying that she was requested by the defense to go to court. And before she even got there, we were over on TikTok Presidents, and we were talking about what made sense and what didn't. Now, we all firmly believed she was talking to the defense, and we had a feeling that we knew why, but because she's so quote unquote transparent, we know we'd hear the story. Now, she said that they wanted her there to confirm or deny the allegations, and that the lawyer wanted to know what happened. So let me tell you the story she told, and then I want TikTok president to come up and tell you the truth. So the story as she told it was that she got there and that the DA, the prosecutors, told her that if she lied, she could face a charge. That his mother was present, and that as soon as she got on the witness stand, she started bawling because she was so overwhelmed. She said that she admitted that she planned on saying that he didn't do a single thing. I know, Jamie. But when she got there, the DA had told her she was going to face the charge, even though she claimed she knew she would have to face a charge. But she says she couldn't do it. And now she believes that they're going to keep him. She clarified that he didn't punch her in the face, but that he mushed her in the face. But she also made sure to let them know that when he's on his medication, that he's fine. But then she came back to the live and said that he was on his medication right before he did this. Or was it your compromise in your head where it was like, okay, yes, he did this bad thing, but if he's on his medication, he's fine to be out in society? And she was acting so conflicted and talking about the fact that he was missing court dates and he wasn't going to the program, without acknowledging that she was the one who told him to come where she was. She was the one talking to a man in the middle of the night that set him off. But none of that comes out, of course. Then she said he called her on Sunday, but that she didn't realize that he wasn't supposed to be in contact with her, and that he was asking her to not tell the truth. But she feels great now that she did. She did the right thing this time, she told her chat. But she feels like she let his mom down, and she feels bad. And she kept saying to the chat, is that normal? Is it normal for me to feel guilty and feel bad? Is anybody in the chat a psychiatrist? Because why are you asking them? And you want a gold star for telling the truth? Like, literally, you have that much of a frayed relationship with the truth that when you tell the truth, you can't even believe it. You're shocked and appalled and surprised. Dee, that fake account is in GP's live sharing it out. The fake digital account? I told y'all. Oh, because there's 400. Let me show you guys this for everybody who just came in. I'm sorry I'm interrupting my story. This is a fake account. This isn't me. If you are following it, please unfollow, report, and block. If you're not following it, please go to it and report it. And you can report it as pretending to be someone else. Yeah, Teresa, she does. This is not me. And if you start to see an account that looks like me, that's doing bad behavior, like sending out J. Paul's live, know that I would never do that. If they start fat shaming or being mean or doxing information, it is not me. Okay? So I'm going to pre-apologize for the things that they might do with my name and the logo. I have no idea what their intentions are. But please unfollow it, report it, and block it. I'm trying to get it taken down before it can do a lot of damage. And I don't know what TikTok is waiting for. I've actually reported it from both of my accounts. Oh, thank you. I've reported it from both of my accounts because that's what it's trying to. It's saying shadow and expose, but it's digital.deceivers. When I do digital, I do an underscore, not a dot, not a period. I don't, well, there's no such thing as a mass report, but if all 400 people in here reported it, we might be able to get it taken down. Yes, Simply Sammy. Okay, so back to her. Thank you guys. Thank you. I appreciate it. I just know it was created with bad intentions. I know it was created with bad intentions. And so that people are going to start running around and making videos talking about, did you see what digital did? I didn't. Because if I did, I'd come right here and tell you. So I know it wasn't created pretending to be a celebrity. Under pretending to be someone else. And then you get to say me, pretending to be me or pretending to be someone else. You guys hit pretending to be someone else. And I think you can put my account in. I don't remember. Thank you, Cat Daddy. So why is it that you can be on the phone with another man knowing that would piss him off, but you're the innocent party? So I did use AI with this one. This is how I see her. She is both victim and victimizer. Where thank you guys, she does things to antagonize a situation and then plays victim once. She actually said yesterday that for some reason she's attracted to abusers. Really? This is a topper and tracks. I thought it was a wig because of how horrible the topper is done. But, and mind you, the tracks they literally stop at the top of her head. She doesn't even know how to take care of them properly. But she spent money doing that instead of buying food. Thank you, thank you. TikTok president, are you here? Because now I want you to tell them the truth of what happened in court. Because I'd say 80% of what she said was a lie. Sabuki, right. She's in trouble with her food stamps. She claims she failed to redetermine, and she used Josh's food stamps for what we don't know, because she hasn't had food in the refrigerator before. But when she did get money, instead of making sure she had food, which is a basic need of every person on the planet, she went out and got tracks and new dresses, and then came to live and said, I don't have any food. Okay, you have the floor, my dear.
Good morning, everybody. So initially, he got arrested on Friday. She spent all weekend talking to Caden's attorney to try to come up with a plan to get Caden released and for the case to be dismissed. Monday, he was supposed to go to court at 2 p.m. What they did is they postponed that court date on Monday to Tuesday because they requested information from several other counties that DVs have been done in. So like Saline County, Harrisburg, and then Tazewell County. So they wanted to be able to pull in all of the information from other areas, as well as get in touch with his probation officer. So they filed a report to get access to everything. So they continued it until Tuesday. Well, yesterday, he went to court at 1:15. They did request, she kept saying that the state wanted her there initially. Well, then she said yesterday before court, well, his attorney is asking me to come. Well, you're not subpoenaed. If he's your abuser, why would you even go in the first place? Was my question. We already knew the answer to that. She wanted him to get out.
Right.
But, so she went to court. His mother ended up showing up for court. Initially, they talked to her, and the state's attorney asked her questions first.
So she was in the box, right?
Yes.
Okay.
His attorney said, well, Judge, we are very reliant on the statement that Christina has for us today. Ooh. So that already kind of showed the court that she was planning to recant her statement. So then the state's attorney started talking to her, asked her a couple of questions about what happened that day. She lied initially and said that nothing happened, that he did not DV her, and the state's attorney immediately cut that down and reminded her that if she lies on the stand, that she can be charged with the felony and be arrested. So that is when she then broke down on the stand, crying her eyes out, and then told the truth. She didn't just have a waking moment where she was like, I can't do this anymore. I need to hold him accountable, which is what she tried to make it sound in her live after court. Exactly. Like she just had this waking moment where she was like, I couldn't lie. She tried to lie. And then when they threatened her with jail, she was like, oh shit, they're on to me, guys. So then she finally told the truth after being reminded that they had police cam footage of the day he was arrested where she told them about the DV. The courts had video proof that I sent in of her live that day. They also had the pictures that they took at the DV shelter that she went to that day also. So she couldn't get her way out of that. There was too much. So, yeah, she got out of that. As soon as they got done talking to her, she ran out of that courtroom. She hightailed it. So the reason his mother was there was they were trying to get him released on an ankle bracelet to his mother, but they denied that because he has too many previous cases of the same behavior, and he does not like to do like his probation check-ins or his pretrial release conditions. He doesn't keep up with them. So they considered him a flight risk and denied his release. So now he goes back to court on February 26th. She claims that she's not keeping up with him or any court dates or anything like that. She wants no more contact with him, which we know that's a lie. She will be in contact with him 100%. But that is what she's saying now. So she does go to court, or he goes back to court on the 26th. So we will see what happens then. But they did also mention in court that they are wanting to pursue this case as a criminal sentencing case, which means that they want to pull in all of his previous cases that are currently still open, and they want to run them together, but then he would have to serve time consecutively. So he will be sentenced individually on each case, and then when he gets done serving time on one, he will immediately start serving time on the next one, and then the next one. So he could be going away for a while for sure. I do want to let people know that she also claims to have met a 70-year-old man on the bus last week and then ran into him again at the gas station and had a long conversation with this man. And he supposedly gave her a key to his house. She did show us the key. I am trying everything in my power to find out who that man is. We have multiple people trying to help find out who it is so that way we can intervene before that becomes an issue. Court for Josh is still on the 18th for the protection order. I don't believe for a second she will show back up to court there, especially after being called out in Caden's court. She was a shaken mess after that. So now that they know that she's a potential liar, I don't think she will ever show face in a courtroom again unless she has to. So we're excited for that court date. I also want to let people know too, she did delete her Christina Test 22 account. So be on the lookout for new accounts. She does use the last name White, Wilson, Test, Click. She also goes by like Nicole instead of Christina. So if you find a new account, please let me and Dee Dee know. So that way we can be back on that ass. So
Facts.
Yep.
Oh, and by the way, she did exactly what I said she would do. And she tried to blame TikTok and Christina, her cousin, for calling the cops on him instead of having accountability for the fact that she asked them to call.
Yep. We did check Epic. A lot of people mentioned Epic. We downloaded Epic. I don't plan on making an account and doing anything on Epic. I didn't like it. But we are checking there. So if she does happen to go there, then I'll make an account to be able to watch her. But I'm not going to have an account there. So
yeah, to me, Epic is the ghetto version of Bigo. And I can't stand Bigo.
Yeah.
But the reason why a lot of them are going to Epic, because Epic does seem like where you go when you want to make money on social media.
Yeah. I've checked on, like, people told me to check Favorited, Epic. I've checked both of their places. I haven't seen her. She does still have a Facebook. She does still have her main Christina Test account with, like, almost 5,000 followers. But she claims that she lost access to that one. So I don't know if she's going to try to, like, disappear for a minute. My thought is she's trying to disappear for a minute. She does this a lot. She'll disappear. She knows that she has to be out of that apartment soon. She knows that we're going to be watching. So she will make her move to her new location and then she'll come back.
And try to brag about it.
Yeah. Yeah, so she'll be back. If you guys happen to see the account, like I said, she uses White, Wilson, Test, and Click. If you guys see her, please let me and Dee Dee know. So, yep.
Thank you.
Thank you, honey.
Always on top of it. I appreciate it.
I love you.
I love you too. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, by the way, Carrie Wells, let me see. Wait, can I do it? Shein, $2. $2. And apparently now she has Carrie Wells has a website and she's going to try to sell like through TikTok. Girl. Oh, thank you. Girl. It ain't gonna work out. So this is how I see Christina. Is she a victim? Yes. But she's also a victimizer. She's a perpetrator. She does things that she knows is going to create the drama so that she can be a victim. That's diabolical. And I really hope that the lawyer who was trying to get her to recant her story, like I said in TikTok President's Live, treats her like, subpoenas her, and then treats her like a hostile witness. Because you made all these phone calls, got this young man arrested and charged over and over and over again. And I hope that he does a deep dive utilizing her TikTok live information to prove that while he may have actually done it, that she not only accepted it, but did things to antagonize him on purpose. Now, does he need to do time because he has a problem? Yes. He needs clinical help. But in my opinion, she is his extenuating circumstances. What do they call that? Dang, I can't think of the legal term, but there's like the part during sentencing where you take into consideration their history, their life, the details around the crime, and then the prosecution is able to use the circumstances that made it even more heinous, like the number of times, etc. Mitigation. Thank you, Bridget. Welcome in, girl. I don't know if that's your first time here, but you are exactly right. Mitigation, which could lessen the sentence. They are toxic. But she likes toxic relationships. Let me explain something to you. And I said this before. Some people don't feel alive unless there is drama. That if there isn't drama, if there isn't something always going on, they're not living life. They're just existing. And if you come across somebody like that, run as fast as you can. Whether it's a friend or a romantic partner or a family member, run in the other direction as far and as fast as you can. Because eventually, you will become a part of the drama. And that's exactly what she did to Christina the other day, where the incident happened at 3 a.m. She could have called 911, but she waited until she came on live, had all the people in her chat talking about, can we call 911? And it was like, no, no, no. And then when Christina offered, it was a yes. And I told her, I said, don't you ever involve yourself again, because she's going to say to Kaden, it's not my fault, Christina called. I didn't tell her to call. I was just shaking my head. And that's exactly what she did. Because she doesn't want any accountability for any of it. So this whole idea that she had this come to Jesus moment and now she's going to be a better person in life, if that's what you believe, hold your breath. You won't make it. Because she'll be back. Because the moment this housing thing falls apart, who knows what's going to happen with the 70-year-old man? Who knows who she has in the wings that she's going to bust out with next? She'll be back. Because TikTok money was too easy for her. Okay. Who's going to be next? Oh, thank you, Granny Annie. Right, Doodle fam. Yeah. Let me show you guys this first. I said, really, Tim? I'm flattered. So this is Tim's new announcement that he will be live Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays going forward. And maybe some pop-up lives here and there. Can't wait to see you guys. where'd you get that idea from, Timmy? Huh? But let me just tell you why this is strategic. This is strategic because they need to pay their room for a week or the day starting on a Tuesday. So by going live on Friday, they start prepping for what they're going to need on Tuesday. And whatever they don't get over the course of the weekend, Monday, of course, is going to be the hard all-day push, just like this past Monday. I did see Bree's back. Bree thought she could pre-block me from her account so that I wouldn't notice. Will this live be on YouTube? Yes. All one word, Digital Deceiver Shadow. So then on Wednesday, Tim will have more viewers than me. Then in the Wednesday, they can ask for food and gas money and medications and etc. For two people who claim they don't have insurance, they don't seem the slightest bit concerned with the hotel. Listen to me. The hospital bill she would have incurred by being in the hospital that many days. No concern whatsoever. But they need money for medication. Come on, guys. Correct, Lumpy. So, thank you, Connie. So, Tim and Angela, let me pull up their photo because... Well, at least now we know when we have to watch them. They'll be going live Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Is Steve Click still here watching? And then when I go off live, you come live? I don't know. So on Monday, the big push, he started off by just asking for the day that they had 20 and they needed 70 more. So, no, they needed 70, I'm sorry, and they had 20, so they were $50 short. But somewhere along the line, they started talking about what they needed for the week. Of course, when he's doing his big push for money, he has to talk about the people who illuminate their BS. And so he said, they talk behind the screen because they know there will be no repercussions. Just like you asking for money. You're asking for money in the form of gifts because you don't see any repercussions for doing so. Just like when you promised to pay people back and then didn't. You did so because you anticipated no consequences. No. Okay. You want to bring up the letters. Why don't you be honest and say that that was one or two people and not the entire group of anti-scam and or awareness? You always say they. They didn't do that. One or two people did that, yes. And I don't support that in any way, shape, or form. But don't say they. Oh, we're going to talk about Eli. And I meant to show you guys his account. But they have somebody new around. They actually have two new people around. But Eli in particular made some very bold and brash statements. For instance, he was going through the viewer list and telling Tim who to mute and block. He sent them the majority of the money they needed for another week at the hotel. And he promised him that he was going to be his eyes and ears and that he was going to come for us. That he had friends in places that would get us taken out. Correct. And so Eli, how did Beth say it? Bigger and badder bitches have tried before. Eli, how can you stop my First Amendment right? I would love to know. Now, you can block as many people out of their lives as you'd like. None of that's going to change the fact that instead of looking for work, they're begging. How, if you are seriously looking for a job and you do not know what that schedule is going to be, how can you be sure you can go Monday, Wednesday, and Friday? And of course, he's talking about because they come across new people. Well, we were working until awareness got us fired. And then little Miss Angela in the background, I'd still be at McDonald's. So why can't you go get a job at Burger King? Or how about get a job at the buffet that you guys prefer? But then in the next minute, she's so sick and ill, she can't work. That's why we're trying to do Social Security. Pick a lane and stick with it. Either she can work or she can't. But let me tell you something, Tim. Eli is there for his own agenda. He is not there to get us to leave you alone. I don't know what his agenda is, but it's not really to help you. It's to big himself up. Because he could have done a lot of those things behind the scenes, and we wouldn't even know who to look out for. He wants us to know who he is, which is why he did all of that nonsense in your life. So go ahead and trust somebody that came out the blue. You've never seen them before. And now they're going to do all this work on your behalf and send you money? Let me warn you, people who show up like that usually don't have good intentions. But I'll let you and Eli have it. And then when he does something that doesn't suit your fancy, I don't want to hear you cry about it. Because I want you to remember that he gave you the money for almost a week. So when it blows up in your face, mute. I don't want to hear you complain about it. Because while it was working for you, he was fine. The only time he's able to get money is either she's sick and he's showing her in the hospital, or he's talking about us. And because one of the reasons why they block us is because they want the echo chamber. So they have the same 5 or 6 people that are like, they're bad, and I don't understand what their problem is, and they don't have a life, and they're jealous of you because you're getting money and they aren't, and blah, blah, blah. None of that is true. Eli even said that we were, first he said we were children in our parents' basement. And then he said something about us being toothless trailer park trash. What are you, Eli? What are you that you have time to sit in a Beggars Live and defend him over people who are trying to prevent people from being taken advantage of? Eli, do you know that he promised to pay people back, women, and didn't? Eli has to be of a certain age because he paid most of their weekly hotel rent. So he at least has money. How much and how he earns it, I don't know. But Eli, once you become so important in their lives, they're going to expect more money from you. So be on the lookout for a request and a DM, since you wanted to make yourself so important in their life. But again, the hypocrisy of Tim and Angela is that they don't want to be compared to Tim Nash or Lisa or any of the other scammers because they're different. But you get to bundle us all in the same net and say we're all bad people. I'm going to ask you the question I ask every single scammer. Where did I lie? What did I lie about? And then I'm going to ask Tim and Angela again, since you keep saying that TikTok got you fired from McDonald's, show the proof. Show the proof. By the way, guys, I know a lot of us were excited when that person got arrested, for the Nancy Guthrie situation. He was released and they found nothing. They found nothing. And the thing that hurt my feelings was that there was a newscaster that was trying to suggest that because they were so close to the Mexican border, that must be the reason why. That hurt my feelings. So now what do y'all have to say? I personally think the whole thing is closer to home. Like it was somebody she knew. Yeah, people have drug him in the mud. They've revealed an electric company and family members and addresses. I think it's closer to home. So again, Tim, tell me where I've lied. I can tell you where you've lied. Tell me where I've lied. Then let's talk about them doxing themselves. First of all, we were all there when your wife doxed your work location. Now, there were a lot of people who already knew where you worked because you have said you're in Dyersburg, and there are people on this app who live in Dyersburg. It's easy to do that to y'all. But then you doxed yourself by saying that because you wanted to so quickly dismiss that you couldn't get a job at the hotel you were staying in because there's only 20 rooms. There's one maintenance guy for when they need things, and there's one woman who's at the front desk almost all the time. Do you know how easy it is to figure out which hotel in that area has about 20 rooms? But then you'll want to say that we did something unique and special to try to find out where you are. Close your mouth, and maybe people wouldn't know as much as they know. And by the way, if your full name is in your bio, that's nobody doxing you but yourself. And I'm going to show you one today. His new video showed meds with the Addy. I'm not surprised. Well, Billy Austin, the reason why is because it's giving him money. What he wants is to be given money in peace. If there was an app that was negatively impacting my mental health, would I be there? And see, they want to say that the police don't take cyberbullying seriously. Yes, they do. They absolutely do. What they don't take seriously is the fact that if you are having so many problems on social media, close the app and leave it alone. And if you're not willing to do that, then you take the risk of people being critical. People are critical of me. People are critical of every famous person on social media. It comes with the territory. The idea that you can say whatever you want and everybody is supposed to agree, nobody is supposed to be able to disagree and talk about it, doesn't exist in this country. That's not how it works. So if you're not willing to get off of social media, TikTok in particular, what do you want the police to do? Me watching you on a public platform and then talking about it isn't illegal, and it's not cyberbullying either. Right, Janky? If you're walking down the street and somebody is like, I don't like you. I don't like the way you walk, the way you talk, the way that you dress. I don't like you. You gonna call the cops and think they're gonna get arrested? Think about the battle between Drake and Kendrick Lamar. They both made crazy allegations about each other. Who got arrested? So please stop it. Just go on and do what you're going to do. Because I'm going to just go on and do what I do. You stop begging for other people's money and get your life in order. He keeps talking about how he wants a job that's not weather dependent. Do you really? Of course, he can't use the car for DoorDash or Spark or anything like that. But when you were making money, why didn't you fix your car? That should have been a top priority. You want to know why? Because if you wanted to move to a new area, you could have. Now the excuse for not moving is that they want to stay next to family. The family that couldn't stand you and you couldn't stand them? But now you've repaired your relationship with your brother-in-law? I wonder why. Where did that humility come from, Timmy? Correct, berries. And then, as much as he loves the people who send him money, why is it that as soon as they get the money, they're out? They're not there for conversation, for fellowship, to get to really know their people. They're there for money, and that's it. I want to say to everybody in their chat, the longer you take care of them, the longer you're going to be taking care of them. They will not stop asking. You have to stop giving. But, now you got your little protector, Eli. I hope that works out for you. I have a huge feeling that it's not. But, that's just my feelings. What are they? Feelings aren't facts. This one's going to be easy. I shouldn't say easy. This one's going to be quick. A lot of y'all don't watch her, but we were watching her last night in a group chat. And I want to tell you about some of what's going on with her so that you can realize the diabolicalness of the way they beg. Zim moved into a huge house. She claims that she spent all this money to get in there because she was begging for moving money for a long time. She suggests that she paid $5,000 to move there, but she moved there with no stove. She's been there for months and there still isn't a stove. But a stove wasn't ever a priority because she has people that if the kids say they want pizza, they get pizza. When are they getting a meal of any nutritional value? Well, now she has a new supporter who claims that they're moving her to New Orleans, to one of their properties, is my understanding. But we'll see if it happens because she has a whole bunch of stuff going on. And why would you be so quick to move your sick baby to an entirely new state? To an entirely new state without making sure that there's proper care for her there. Like, a baby in her condition shouldn't just be moved. There should be pre-coordination between where you're going and who's been treating her. Have you gotten the clearance to take her that far? While she's on a G2? And still really small and susceptible to the elements? But you don't care because all you can see is free, and more free. And being able to start over because you think somehow what has happened in your previous locations won't follow you. Mind you, she claims she could barely get insurance for the baby, and now you're going to move your entire family to a new state, and you're going to have to start over with everything. You don't just take Medicaid from one state to another. You actually have to fill out applications, and the way you act like you can't do it. But see, when Zim moved in, she moved in with the program, and as we discussed it last night, it can't be Medicaid because there's no way someone is paying your rent Medicaid, I'm sorry, not Medicaid, Section 8 is paying the rent and you don't have a stove. And I don't know if the people in her chat are just so far removed from that they don't understand how it works, or they're just choosing to be willfully ignorant. But that landlord wouldn't be getting their payment if she didn't have a stove. So lo and behold, as things get cut off in the house, like water was yesterday, we come to find out that Zim didn't bother to put any of those things in her name. Now, unless it was a part of the rent, everybody knows that when you move in somewhere, you need the electricity in your name, the water in your name, cable, television, whatever it is in your name. I personally felt like Zim was going to let it ride out. And then when it got cut off, she'd run over there and be like, I live there now. But now that it looks like she's trying to leave, she was going to just let it go even longer until the water got cut off for failure of payment. Now, has she done it when she moved in, as someone suggested to her, she could have brought her lease down and showed that she moved in on such and such a day. But if she did that, that would make her responsible for the water and electricity from the day she moved in. So the water is cut off, and she comes to her chat, boo-hoo crying, losing it about how she has to pay this money, and the landlord needs to fill out a paper, and blah, blah, blah. They won't let her pay the bill because the bill isn't in her name. Now we're worried about that? After the water gets cut off? And of course, she needed DoorDash because there's no water. And she's like, I'd like to wash my ass. When you smell now? Because that's what you said your barometer for when you take a bath is, when you can smell yourself. But now the baby needs water and the kids need water and we only have a couple of gallons and we can't bathe and blah, blah, blah. If that mattered to you, you would have taken care of this already. But because there are people in this life that literally look for anything that they can take advantage of, they do. Instead of being honest and forthright. But you want somebody who has been taking advantage of a system, you're going to believe the words that they say? Again, when you're willing to lie about a basic thing like paying a water and an electric bill, which should be a top priority because you have children in that home, how you know she's not lying about the money she asked for? So, mind you, this is Tuesday. She knows she's getting a payout on Wednesday, and we found out last night that payout is going to be over $200. She came to chat. I think it started like $140 plus a $41 connection fee. Because again, she's never connected it in her name. She got the money. But she had to pay it by a certain time. Did she? No. So then there was a further charge. She got the money. Did she pay it? No. Then there was another charge. By the time she was done, she had gotten over $200 from her chat. But she wanted to remind the chat, and yeah, we're going to need money because we have a birthday coming up. Your children don't have water, but you're concerned about their birthday? You can plan a party and give gifts at any time. But them not having water literally makes the house uninhabitable. But she's the best mother on the planet. And he's the best dad. Your rent and your utilities should be the very first thing you pay. Cell phones, birthdays, mukbangs, DoorDash, that's all later. Do you know the amount of DoorDash she's gotten? She could have bought a stove probably 2 times over. Oh, thank you, Sammy. No, they're not married. She gets money, but not according to her and her chat. She needs them. Mind you, she never paid the bill yesterday. So now, between the money she got from them and the money she got from her payout, she's at over $500. Now, my question is this. Did she show anybody that the water was turned off? I didn't see her show anybody that the water was turned off. The only thing she did was call down to the place, and they were like, well, you're going to have to do this and you're going to have to do that, blah, blah, blah. You mean to tell me she didn't get a letter in the mail saying it was going to get turned off? But now that's the chat's problem to fix. And whoever's letting her move to New Orleans, you aren't watching this and thinking maybe not? The water was off in the bathroom but not in the kitchen? Okay, Mom. Well, if the people on the phone said that it was turned off, then it was turned off. But again, you turning it off, it being turned off is nobody's fault but your own. She tried to blame the landlord. The landlord won't fill out a paper. He's not filling out anything for you, ma'am, because he wants you gone. So all of that bluster about, look at the house we prepared for our family, blah, blah, blah. You didn't even turn the water on in your own name, baby girl. What was all of that bluster about? You still have no stove. What was all of that about? Does the baby have its own bed yet? But you're the best mother on the planet. Okay, Zim. Right, Sanji. So let's see what happens today. Because this is what pissed me off. After all of this haranguing, mind you, she never left the house, so she ain't go nowhere to pay nothing. And after she got them to give her the money, knowing she was going to get enough to pay it, do you know what she did to her chat? This heifer battled. So it wasn't enough that you've given me the money 2 times over to be able to turn the water back on. Now I'm going to fleece you for more money and battle. And what were they up there doing? Sending her gifts so she could win the battles. I actually turned it off because it pissed me off. What happened to the tears and the stress of you not having water? It's diabolical to me. And I don't understand how people sit in there and listen to it and think this is normal. Just because she has 6 kids, she laid down and had them 6 kids. Where are you? Okay, you want to be her friend? You want to help her? Then why aren't you teaching her how to live better? Because as long as you keep giving her money, she's going to stay in the exact same circumstances. And if you bring her down there, put her in your property, help her get Section 8 down there or some program, but you know that the man is living there and he's not supposed to be, you're breaking your contract with whatever agency is paying you the rent. You're being dishonest. You don't care about that? You don't care about your reputation? Okay. Okay. Do you, boo? I'll just be sitting here watching. Cece, who needed the money urgently to get out of Dodge, guess where she's at? She's still in Dodge. She's still in Dodge. Laughing and joking and everything else. I thought we had to get out of Dodge fast. I thought we were afraid of him getting out. Didn't he get out days ago? But you're good now. And you still want financial assistance. Did you quit your job? Because you had a job. Is the baby going to school? Excuse me. Did you go back to a DV shelter hoping that it will help you get housing somewhere else? Because you're still in Dodge. And the moment you wanted something or needed something, well, let me change that. The moment you felt like you had something to brag about, you was right back on TikTok. Bragging about that piss poor part of a man. For what? And now you are married to him. Right, Shasky? Buy a map. You have enough money for a map. In fact, you have enough money to go to the local library, print out the directions, and go. Sabuki, she shouldn't have the one child she has already because she allowed him to beat that child. Forget about the one that's not born yet. I'm concerned about the one that's already here with his little sweet self. And all he wants is mommy attention. But she was too busy getting hugs in the middle of the day. That made her feel so special. And like I told y'all, when a person has miscarriages, I shouldn't say a person, when a woman has miscarriages on a repeated basis, they tend to be very quiet about an early pregnancy. But she did it because people love babies. So of course she was going to get a lot of love. Hey, Mad Holly. Welcome. You're going to love it here, I promise. Hello. Hello, everybody coming in. Hello, hello. Let me do it one more time. If you see this account, this is not me. I did a video about it. I think the song was Chef's Kiss Perfect. This isn't me. Report it as them copying somebody else. Sabuki, she's not with him anymore. But she's still in the area. This isn't me. Yes, this is an imposter. And apparently they were in J. Paul's live today, sharing the live. Thank you. So please unfollow, report, and then block. Your report showed no violations? Well, shout out to TikTok. Hello, hello, hello. Okay. So, Cece, we'll keep watching your show. We'll keep watching. Where are we at? 8:37. We might finish on time. Let me see. Okay, hold on. I didn't download it. Hold on. I gotta check something real quick. Oh, yes, I did. So I know I usually do affirmations that tend to be women focused. So I thought today I would do 7 daily affirmations for men. Screenshot it and then share it with the men in your lives. So the first is I always fight for myself and for what I believe in. Second is I won't be used or taken advantage of. I'm no one's doormat. I define who I am. I decide what I do. I control how I live my life. No one will break me down on the inside unless I let them. I have great ideas and I'm not afraid to share them. I don't give up when things get difficult. I expect to work for what I want. And finally, number 7 is I know when to meet a challenge head on and when to walk away. To me, number 7 is the most important. So screenshot that and share it with your men. And if they're like, what am I supposed to do with this in the morning? Repeat this to yourself twice. You can do the whole thing or you can just do one. But repeat it to yourself until you believe it to be true. My wife is always right. Yeah, that's true. So share that. That was the motivation for today. Now, I think I have Black Mamba up there. Let me just say this real quick. The idea that he is owed a hotel room, owed money for food, then uses some of that money to buy alcohol, and then gets drunk and crashes out on TikTok, y'all have to stop. You are creating the monsters you're getting. And then people want to clutch their pearls. For what? You've created this monster where he doesn't think he needs to get a job. And he cries on command when that's necessary. He yells, screams, and hoops and hollers when that's necessary. It's all manipulation. Stop it already. Oh, thank you, Siren. Thank you, thank you. All right. Aaron's what I'm about to do with Aaron is going to be different than what I normally do. But let's just talk about Wait, what did you say? I thought he had to be at his job yesterday. Yes, please tap the screen until you feel the heart's tail. I'm sure he's going to have some people in here. Oh. Let me get to his multiple pages. So, I'm going to spend some time debunking Aaron and his BS. It's not going to be my usual storytelling style. So let's start with the fact that I'm going to do this first. During a particular diatribe, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the diatribe and then comment in the diatribe. One of the things he said was that we were giving him a false jacket by calling him a beggar. Please don't invite me to a good time, Aaron, because I love to do this. What is the definition of a beggar? I believe this is Webster's. Sometimes disparaging someone who begs, especially a usually unhoused person who lives by asking for money, food, etc. Is that or is that not the definition of Aaron himself? It can also be a poor or impoverished person. So I have already debunked you. We are not applying a false jacket. You are, in fact, a beggar. But then I wanted to go through the difference between a beggar and a panhandler. So a beggar is a person who lives by asking others for money, food, or other charity in general, in any context or place. The term is used worldwide and can sound somewhat old-fashioned or literary, but is still common in everyday speech. A panhandler is a person who asks strangers for money in public places, especially streets, sidewalks, or near businesses, and the term is mainly used in North American English. It often implies street-level, face-to-face requests, and sometimes used in legal or policy contexts. But there's a digital component. We're going to get there. What is the relationship? All panhandlers are beggars in the broad sense. They're asking for charity. But not all beggars are panhandlers, because begging can also happen in non-street or non-cash contexts. Panhandler is more specific. Street solicitation, often for small change, while beggar is broader and can describe anyone asking for aims, including more passive or less public forms of asking. That's just the connotation. So, what happens if they're doing it online? These are the terms: an online beggar, an internet beggar, or an e-beggar. Someone who solicits money from strangers over the internet, including on social media and TikTok. Cyber beggar or cyber begging emphasizes that the begging happens in a digital environment. An online or digital panhandler treats what they are doing as the online version of street panhandling. On TikTok specifically, people sometimes talk about beg talk or TikTok begging to describe creators who repeatedly ask viewers for money or gifts on lives. So do I need to be more specific, Aaron? You're a digital beggar? You're an e-beggar? You're an online panhandler? Maybe that's what he needed us to be. He needed us to be specific. He's an e-beggar. Thank you for giving us additional terms to describe your nonsense. So there y'all go. When they're like, I'm not a beggar. Oh, no, you're right. You're a cyber beggar. So again, Aaron, pipe down. It's not a false jacket. It literally is the definition of what you are doing. So take that to the side. Now I'm going to ask you to bear with me. This came from Ladybug's account. So thank you very much, Ladybug. And we're going to go through this diatribe of him and all of his threats to us. His account is now called the Anti-Bullying Movement, and he's gone private. But, you know, he had to do a diatribe first.
At this point, due to the lies and the false information, the chaos and confusion that's erupted on this app, on my name, I think it's best that I remove myself from the position of which...
Okay, first of all, we've just debunked one lie. So you've erupted on the app because of what you've done. You didn't erupt because of what we did. You're the beggar on TikTok. And again, you're upset because you couldn't convince a large community to leave you alone for a week while you got your life together. You're not owed that. You can ask. It doesn't mean people are going to do it. And certainly not with the attitude you've had following that request. Then what position are you removing yourself from, sir? The only position that would satisfy me is the position where you stop begging for money. But we know we're not going to do that. So what position? Is there now a job called e-beggar, cyber beggar, digital panhandler? I didn't know. Now, he says he's decided to move back, but later on he says that his lawyers in the courts told him to step away. But we'll get there.
Has been put on my hands that is full of false information, lies, and deceit. Too many people that were close friends of mine have left due to the chaos and drama that's erupted from these individuals that go by.
What happened, Aaron? You mad that you didn't get to bully and manipulate your way out of people bringing attention to you? Some of us can detect BS. It's a superpower. And I'm sorry, not sorry, that we were able to see through your lies and your manipulation. It's not false information. It's information that is inconvenient truth to you. So since you're saying that we've lied and there's false information, you don't just get to throw out those phrases and then they die there. I need you to detail what has been false and what information hasn't been true. Where are the lies? And then I need you to say who said it. Because again, just telling us all that we're false information and we're lying or that we're being deceitful, tell us exactly what was lied about. Now, it's our fault that your friends have walked away. Could it be that your friends no longer wanted to be associated with your name because it became very clear that you were being manipulative? and that taking heat for you was no longer in their best interest? Don't blame us. My real friends stick by me. They're also allowed to tell me when I'm not doing something correctly, but not for you. In fact, you treated them like absolute dirt. We watched you scream and yell and question their motives. They didn't leave because of us. They left because of you. They couldn't pretend anymore that you were on the level. They might think that their reputation is more important than your lives. Let's keep going.
Awareness. And some little minions of them.
Oh, guess y'all are little minions. Or am I the little minion? I'm not sure. Let's go.
As well. And unfortunately, nobody really wants to hear the side of what actually happened and see the proof, since I'm the only one other than the FBI that can open the files.
Let's stop there. No one will listen to the proof? I've given you an opportunity. I, in fact, said I will be quiet. Let's hear the story. Let's hear your side. And then the only thing you were focused on was, can you stop people from making videos? You didn't have a side. Because when your thought process is questioned, you break down and freak out. Because there is no side that is disproving what we say. We have the videos to prove it, sir. And now we're talking about the FBI. Boy.
I can't believe that people would believe such lies and deceit from a bunch of gaslighting and improper individuals who have no clue what they're doing or how they're doing it. They've got.
If we don't know what we're doing and how we're doing it, why are you running? Why is your account now private? Why can't you just stand on your truth, since you're the truth teller and we're the liars? See, when I know that I'm standing on the side of truth, you can't shut me up. I'm not going private. I'm standing on mine. But what you didn't like is that for every lie you told, we were there to expose it. For every level of manipulation, we were standing in the gap between you getting money and us telling people to be careful. Your money slowed down. But you're the one running. Ooh. Hold on.
Very sloppy, very quick.
Oh, yeah, we've gotten sloppy really quickly. But yet we're still being effective. You got sloppy because you decided that you wanted to show yourself off and you ended up doxing your location. That's sloppy. But keep going.
I have been instructed by my lawyers. I've also been instructed by the courts and the judicial systems as well to remove myself from the position and continue on my life.
So now, Sunday night, he was in the grocery store. This was posted Monday night. And you want me to believe that in the working hours of Monday, You were able to walk 30,000 miles, go live and beg for money, and also get in touch with these lawyers, the courts, and the judicial system. I saw somebody say you can't even afford a cup of coffee, but you have the connections to talk to lawyers, courts, and the judicial system. And who is the judicial system? Like, are you trying to say the entire judicial system is coming our way? Who did you talk to in the judicial system? And I kind of laughed at myself because I was like, his lawyers, I wonder if he contacted his Social Security Administration disability lawyer. Because what? What lawyer? When did you have time for this? And what felon is commanding lawyers, the courts, and the judicial system? You can't buy food or a hotel room, but you contacted lawyers, courts, and the judicial system. I guarantee you, if you spoke to a lawyer, they would have said to you, yeah, get off TikTok. Because nothing else is going to happen. But let's keep going.
I may make an appearance later on in a different...
Didn't somebody just say that you were leaving your position? So why are you already pre-letting everybody know you'll be back? Keep going.
setting when all these individuals go down. I've exposed the names, I've exposed the proof, and there is going to be a thorough investigation done by the FBI.
Wait a minute. Now we've gone from lawyers, courts, the judicial system to the FBI. Wait, was I sloppy or were you sloppy when you made the mistake and spent $500 for 2 nights at a hotel room and took yourself out to dinner, blew through your whole Social Security check, and now you needed to beg people for money because you thought you had $400 coming and you didn't get it? You decided to leave Alaska in the dead of winter to walk to Minnesota and hope you could stick your thumb out for rides. But we're sloppy? And now the FBI is coming? In Monday. I think the FBI is super busy, but okay.
The U.S. Marshals and...
oh, I forgot about the U.S. Marshals. So, lawyers, courts, the judicial system, the FBI, and U.S. Marshals. Wait, it gets better.
People on the internet are...
Hold on.
There will be a lot of political gain on this one. They're taking a...
Who is going to get political gain? What senator or congressman is getting elected because you're complaining about what we're doing on TikTok? Now, we know that he's a conservative and that he has a disdain for liberals. Sir, what you don't seem to understand is that the community over here runs the entire gamut of the political perspective. Because who you voted for doesn't matter over here. So who's getting political gain? Because you're upset that you're getting called out for being a scammer, beggar, and manipulator? Let's keep going.
Image of everything moving over from China to America, and they're using tags and things that they think is going to cover them, but the courts are going to prove them otherwise.
Okay, so I use the tag fair use. I know other people say education purposes only. Those are the tags he's referring to that he thinks are going that we think are going to cover us, but that the courts are going to say otherwise. By the way, one of my pinned videos is on fair use. If you haven't seen it yet, please take a gander because it is fair use what I do.
There will be letters sent out for cease and desist. There will.
You're sending out letters to cease and desist. I'm waiting for mine. And y'all should wait for y'all's too. Because what are you asking me to cease and desist? Telling the story about what you do on your live? I'm just telling stories. I'm telling the truth. And how people choose to receive that is on them. But I'm waiting.
Also be warrants set for cyber stalking, harassment, release of personal information, because as we all know from the post that I have made,
Hold
when
on.
you...
Before he says that, there are going to be warrants made. So wait a minute. Again, somebody that's walking from Alaska to Minnesota who can't buy himself a cup of coffee or put himself in a hotel room has gotten in touch with lawyers, courts, the judicial system, the FBI, and the U.S. Marshals. And not only are they doing an investigation, they are already writing letters for cease and desist. And they already have warrants before they've done their investigation, Aaron? There are warrants? Well, this is what I'm going to say. Cash Patel, if you're watching me, give me a follow. Why don't you subscribe and share me to all the other people that work at the FBI? My account could use a boost. And maybe I can help you find some criminals that you've been looking for because they are taking advantage. And when I get my warrant, I want an interview. Because what I'd like to do is tell the fact that he is taking advantage of Social Security, that he is failing to report on a monthly basis what he's been getting in gifts and gifts in kind, like discounts at hotel rooms and food, and not reporting it to his Social Security worker. So please, Cash Patel, if you following me, hook a girl up. Get her to 20,000 followers. There's enough FBI workers that can do that, right? And then if we add in the courts and the U.S. Marshals and the judicial system, I should be at 1 million followers by the end of the day. But just make sure when you write my warrant, send it to my attorney. And then I'll come in for an interview and I'll tell you everything I know about the people who have been stealing from the government. For somebody who is so concerned about other people stealing from the government because they're here illegally, well, are you stealing from the government, Aaron? Huh? Or it's only bad if you're here undocumented. But if you're here legally, it's okay to commit crimes against the government. I'm asking for a friend. Okay, let's keep going.
Look up public records. It is not to be exposed on the internet. That is one of the things that is put in the fine print, that you are not to weaponize it. You are not to make it look as if it's something that is horrible on the person, but by individuals that don't even know you, and also to individuals who don't know you. So, at this point, I am I'm removing myself from this situation until the legalities are taken care of, the things are dealt with that need to be dealt with, and my life can get back on track.
So his life is going to get back on track because he's going to remove himself from the situation. What situation is that, Aaron? The situation where you're going to beg people for money? Is that going to get your life on track? Because you didn't make it to Minnesota by the deadline. Do you still have the job and the housing? Have you showed anybody proof that you actually have a job and housing waiting for you? But then if you're removing yourself from the situation, then stop begging for money. That's actually removing yourself. Closing down your TikTok is actually removing yourself. I am still trying to figure out what position, but we know that a lot of them consider coming live as their job. And if you're standing on the side of truth, Aaron, why did you go private? And let me explain this to you, Aaron. Going private doesn't mean that we can't watch. I'll be watching. Don't worry. I'll be there.
The false allegations and the shit that they've been saying, making me out to be a beggar, making me out to be a scammer.
Well, we just proved that, right? He's a beggar. By definition. So you've already lost the case on that. I need for you to be specific about the people who put false information about you and what false information they put out about you. Public record is public record. What do you want? If it wasn't meant to be consumed by the public, it wouldn't be public. But I'll let you cry about that. Thank you, Scammy.
It's not accurate, as y'all can see.
Oh, wait, and let me add one more thing. Make sure you tell the FBI that because of what we've done, you've lost money from side jobs. But in order to recoup anything, you would have to be able to show proof that you had a side job, that person went on TikTok, saw the evidence, and then chose not to hire you. And then you would have to have a dollar amount that you lost. It has to be quantifiable. If you didn't lose anything, there's nothing you can gain from it. And then, if I'm going to hire you and I have no other way of doing a background check and I just happen to be smart enough to look on social media and the things I saw about you I don't like, I have the right not to hire you. Whether it's a business or a personal situation. But again, you have to prove that somebody was going to hire you and they didn't because of TikTok. Now, maybe somebody didn't send you money because of a video, but that wasn't a job. And I'm sorry, if we use your own words and your own behavior to indicate to people that they need to be careful, that's not false information. That's using you to prove who you are. Let's keep going.
I'm currently walking down the road with my bag because I am homeless.
No one has ever suggested that he wasn't homeless. So again, not a false accusation. He's homeless, which in fact makes him a beggar.
I do have a job that I am trying to get to. I have walked approximately 200 miles in the past 4 days. Because it's a consistent walk. I can't even say 200 miles because it was about 6.
Can I ask a question? Didn't you have to go 1,200 miles? So here's your gold star for getting 200, but you missed the deadline. Today's Wednesday.
60 to 80 miles worth of rides that I gotten. It's just a rough estimate. And just because most of y'all out there can't do it, doesn't mean that I can't. And if you look it up, it is very normal to walk approximately 150 to 200 miles within 4 days. Now, that being said, the more that you continue to slander my name, even while I'm away from the app, the more it's going to keep going on, you guys. I do have people watching. I do have lawyers that watch. I have people in the judicial system that watch. There is enough evidence on you guys that there will be justice. Not only...
I guys, if you're watching, please follow me, like, share, subscribe, so I can get maybe I can get 1,000 followers today. Please follow me.
But the individuals who have taken their lives and the individuals who were attacked by people due to you guys and y'all's dumb shit.
Again, I want you to tell me the individual, the name, and the date that somebody unalived themselves because we brought attention to the fact that they were begging, manipulating, and lying on this app. If you're going to use Rizzy, it was drama talk, not beg talk. And it certainly wasn't anti-scam. So I need the name and the date that somebody unalived themselves because we proved that they were lying and manipulating. Or shut up and stop talking. Because if this is the evidence you're using for your FBI and U.S. Marshal contacts, I promise you, they got other things to do that are actually worthwhile. I don't think they're going to choose you over looking for Nancy Guthrie.
I think my rant's over, and there's one more thing I have to add. Stay frosty and keep your head on a swivel. It's the only way you can get through this life. I will see y'all hopefully one day, but until this stops and until the judicial system takes and serves justice, I will no longer be around. Y'all have a good one.
So he ran, but he didn't really. He just went private. And right, and who cares? Just for the record, apparently, and remember when I said to you, if you have your name in your bio, I'm not doxing you, you are doxing yourself. Apparently, this is somebody who he's been going live with. It's her live, and then he joins it. So he's not really going away. He's trying to hide. But again, the hills have eyes, and so does TikTok. If you're anywhere, we will find you because you're on a public platform, even when you're private. If you're friends with somebody and they decide to show us what you're doing, then that's what they do. Now, again, all of the bluster. Why don't you ask Gabby how all of this bluster about using the judicial system worked out for her? Because I promise you, at the end of the day, hello, White Sox. He said he was good all live. It's his turn. I promise you that you will have wished that you didn't involve government officials more than I would. But I was doing something else last night, and I decided to share it with y'all. Have you guys seen TikTok Taco? I'm not really sure which one it's called. They say good morning, buddy. It is TikTok's AI. And I happen to be looking up Brianna Nicole. She is a beggar, but she gets dragged a million other places. She's ridiculous. She literally moved into an apartment and on day one was late for the first rental payment. And she does these things like tip the jar and let's help with the rent. She's gotten thousands of dollars on this app. She's the one whose baby daddy was unalived, even though before he was unalived, he was in a relationship with a whole nother woman. She was still sleeping with him. And then he passed away. And when I tell you that blew up, like the drama between the baby mama, the girlfriend, and the mother is crazy. But Brianna, in fact, is a scammer. But I was looking her up and I hit at the very top, ask. And ask is TikTok Taco. And this is what came up for her. So Brianna Nicole's eviction update. And it says that she was, details. And I was like, oh. It says she's still living there. She lost a $3,000 fundraiser goal on TikTok to cover the rent. She received community reports and critics questioned her financial management after previous payment issues. And then it went on. It talked about her controversy and then her next steps. And I thought, well, this is TikTok's AI. Let's look up Aaron's. This is the account name is Anti-Bullying Movement. By the way. Now this connected him to something that says Homeless POS Aaron account. Known for sharing his experiences with homelessness and engaging in online discussions about social issues. Here's a breakdown. Aaron has shared personal stories about facing homelessness, including challenges like identity theft and navigating shelters while seeking stability. His videos often address topics like financial structure, cyberbullying, and legal threats, referencing FBI or lawsuits, sparking debates about authenticity and accountability. I was like, look at TikTok AI's do it thing. Controversies. He has faced accusation of scams and bullying, with critics alleging he uses dramatic narratives to solicit donations. His content intersects with movements like Homeless Lives Matter, which advocates against harassment of homeless individuals while emphasizing personal responsibility. While Aaron's stories highlight real struggles, his methods have drawn scrutiny. Always verify claims and consider supporting verified charities for homelessness relief. Then I did it again with his actual account name. The name Aaron, in context of Homeless Lives Matter 2, refers to a controversial TikTok creator known for live streams where he requests money while claiming to be homeless. Here's what's known. He frequently asks for large sums, $140 plus a night for hotels, despite having resources like a phone and digital payment tools. Critics know he often avoids shelters and faces allegations of misusing donations. Many viewers accuse him of scamming, citing inconsistencies in his stories and refusal to help from shelters. Others defend him as a vulnerable individual facing genuine hardship. Shout out to Awareness Team. Safety concerns. He's reported physical attacks allegedly linked to online harassment, highlighting risks faced by homeless individuals. And then it's important context. Homelessness can result from job loss, medical issues, or systemic barriers. Now let me stop there. Because I say this later on, but I want to say it now. what I want us to do is wait, let me find it. Hold on. When you are suggesting to people that they put a person's name in the search bar, I want you to hit the Ask tab at the very top. Because TikTok, forget about videos, TikTok will give you a summary and will tell you what's what. And then you can look at videos. Because people will say, well, you can skew a video however you like. But TikTok AI is based on what TikTok AI sees. So let's add that to the mix. It is literally at the very top where you put in somebody's name and it says top. To the left of the word top is ask. And that's TikTok Taco. So, Aaron, forget about what I say. What you gonna do? Send the FBI to TikTok? Okay. And then it offered me key red flags to look for. And people who are scamming people on TikTok. I didn't even have to create it. TikTok AI did it for me. Urgent money requests, demands for gift cards, crypto, or cash with threats like the FBI will arrest you if you don't pay. Vague identity claims, uses generic names, Aaron, without verifiable details or consistent backstory. Emotional manipulation, exaggerated stories like I haven't eaten in 5 days to trigger donations. Shout out to Money Bees. Blocked verification, avoids video calls, proof of shelter stays, or third-party validation. And sudden lifestyle changes, claims poverty but shows luxury items or inconsistent routines. Shout out to what's her name in Canada? I've checked her in so long I can't even remember her name. But that was TikTok AI. I was like, look at you. And so it offered safer alternatives. Donate to verifiable charities and report suspicious accounts to TikTok for investigation. And so the note is that while some creators share genuine struggles, always verify through independent sources before donating. And then this gave me another thought. Here is a step-by-step guide to report accounts excessively requesting gifts or money on TikTok. So we all know this reporting. Open the profile, hit the share icon, report account, frauds and scams, and as the reason, add the details, excessive gift requests, or financial exploitation. Do you hear me now? Excessive gift requests or financial exploitation. Remember those words. So then they give you critical tips. Block first. Well, report. Hold on, my internet just went down. Can you guys still hear me? Can you hear me now? Okay, my internet went down. I'm sorry. So if the regular reporting doesn't work, they are suggesting that we escalate it to TikTok Legal's portal. Now, how do we do that? White Sox, stop, please. Well, then TikTok Taco gave us a ready-to-use report template with the key details to expedite TikTok's review. Don't you love TikTok Taco? So first you put in the subject line, urgent report. Account excessively requesting gifts and money. By the way, I will be making a video with all of this so that you have it at your fingertips. You want to put account details, the username and the profile URL. And then under violation description, you want to put this account repeatedly requests monetary gifts or donations through direct messages. Don't we have some from Tim and Angela? Live stream comments and video captions with things like help me pay my bills. Then you want to have evidence. So you have screenshot and then you explain what's on the screenshot. And then you can add additional context, like this account exploits vulnerable groups, and that their requests violate TikTok's community guidelines on financial exploitation. That is the key word. Then you want to ask them or tell them what action you're requesting. Immediate account suspension, removal of all donation-related content, and flag for legal review if the pattern persists. And again, they're suggesting that we report it to the FTC. The note, block the account immediately after submitting, preserve original screenshots, do not edit them, and for severe cases, contact your local law enforcement for threats. So remember, this Sam McConnell may be the account that he's using. But like I said before, when you're suggesting that they put it in their search bar, the person's name in the search bar, make sure you suggest to them that they hit the ask for TikTok Taco, whatever it's called. And they'll get more information and that brief summary than watching 10 videos. And then suggest they watch the videos. So, Aaron, what do you have to say now? Thank you, because you have now given us all an additional way to try to get rid of these accounts. Now, you talk about it coming to the U.S. and we're taking advantage. Let me just tell you something. Depending on who's actually in charge of this, once it gets here, this could become the wild, wild west. So buckle up. Because as long as I'm not breaking any laws, which I make a persistent and consistent strategy to not do so, because I, unlike you, don't have a felony. I have always been and will continue to be a law-abiding citizen. I'm going to keep doing what I'm going to keep doing. You guys keep doing what you guys are doing. And Aaron, my suggestion is that you stop doing what you're doing if you want us to go away. But we're not. And the hills have eyes. So it doesn't matter whose account you hide under, how many new accounts you may make. As long as you start begging on TikTok, we will know. And I'll be bringing attention to it, and so will they. So on that note, I'm going to end today at exactly 9:31. You got to love it when it works. Thank you, Ladybug, so much for creating that clip that I was able to debate as the clip went on. It made a huge difference in me being able to share what I thought about it. Okay, Victoria, thank you. I took a screenshot, but it's on another device. So when I went to create, I was up really late. And I know people were sending me messages to come to a live last night. I couldn't because, as you could see, I had to get ready for today. Oh, yeah. Nana, are you talking about Nicole? Not Nicole. This girl, Brianna Nicole, huge scammer. And Puppy Power, thank you too, because you sent me in the right direction. Correct, Princess. Everybody who's here, whether you are a member of Anti-Scam Awareness or not, if you come across somebody that is suggesting to their audience that they send them money and they're doing it day after day after day, you have the right, and dare I say the obligation, to report it, because they are taking advantage of kind-hearted people. And who am I compassionate for? The kind-hearted people. And remember, there are children, animals, and elderly and the infirm suffering behind their nonsense. There are people with cancer that are sending their last few dollars because they feel like the other person needs it more than they do. There are people taking from their mortgage money, their food allowance. And in this economy, unless you are wealthy, you're struggling. There are people making $100,000 a year where we used to be able to look like that's middle class, who are struggling. And you have these do-nothings that feel like they have a right to their money. And let me add one final point. This is tax season. And lovely lady Julie Newton, you talking about you're begging for money on the back end in DMs, but then you're going to put in a scammer's live that you got your state return back? Stop begging if you got your state return. You think we don't see it? We see it all. Dummy. So please, I know it's a little extra effort than just reporting it to TikTok in the easy way, but we may have just found a way to actually get them to stop, to get their accounts banned permanently. Let's take advantage of it while it's still here and available. Please hug your loved ones, because tomorrow isn't promised. And please, as always, engage in some self-care today. And make sure that you share that affirmations to the men in your life. All of them, down to your children, to your grandfather. Because men's mental health is equally as important as women's. And they face a lot of pressure. Yep, drink water. Don't be a jerk. I guess I gotta start adding stuff to the outro. Please, everyone, have a wonderful midweek. It's hump day. Enjoy your Thursday, and I will see all of you on Friday morning. But as we head out, this song is dedicated to all the people on TikTok that are taking advantage of the kind-hearted people through financial exploitation. Echo. Please play Beat It by Michael Jackson.
Here's Beat It by Michael Jackson on Amazon Music.
It ended. Everyone have a wonderful Friday. Oh, and let me just say one last thing. Aaron, I already have an FBI file because I've been cleared by the FBI multiple times. So they already know me. Everybody have a wonderful day. I'll see you Friday morning.